It's time for
DodgerHeads.
high fly ball into right field. Dodgers have won it all in 2020. Shohei Ohtani, 50-50 club. Strikes him out. There's a drive. Shohei Ohtani. Freeman hits the ball. She is gone. Birthday party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
Woo! What's going on, everybody? Welcome to DodgerHeads Unplugged with Scotty G on DodgerBlue.com. It's great to have you in here. My name is Scott Geirman. As promised, the Dodgers force a Game 7. They do exactly what I told them I needed to do offensively, or what I needed to be done offensively. I needed them to score 3 in the first 4 innings. I needed Yamamoto to be able to have some wiggle room to pitch and, stuff it down the throat of the Toronto Blue Jays. And that's exactly what he did. They did everything I said. I wish I would, that I wanted, that I needed, that I required for me to feel good about what the offense had to do to get done, to force a Game 7 here. People wanted some optimism. Yesterday I said, look, at the end of the day, there is nobody I would rather have on the mound to force a Game 7, to be a stopper, to stymie an opposing offense that is hot. And Yoshinobu Yamamoto proves that he's one of the best arms in Major League Baseball. What a stellar Game 6. From what we got to see with Mookie Betts, what we got to see with Miguel Rojas, we'll get into a bunch of stuff here. I'm ecstatic at the opportunity to be able to play, for them to be able to play in a Game 7, to force the Blue Jays to look. They made a bonehead move at the end of that game. The Dodgers starting pitching, the relievers, executed where they needed to. And Tyler Glasnow once again, feeding off the adrenaline of coming out of the bullpen here, executes in the 9th inning to perfection. And the Dodgers defense, somebody in chat yesterday talked about the experience that the Dodgers had and if they were using it. As of Game 5, through Game 5, they were not. They were not in a position to be able to execute high-level IQ baseball plays in this series because, one, it was either they weren't doing enough offensively or they were way behind in the game. Now, in Game 6, at the end of that ball game, you see Kike Hernandez in left field, a play that he's executed one time before already in the postseason. He does that again. And with what Kike Hernandez did in that 9th inning, low liner, he said post-game he heard the crack of the bat. I've got to pull up some quotes here. Excuse me. Let me do this. Good guy Blake Williams just dropped off some stuff because my daughter's trying to fill out her Pokemon collection here and get her own stuff started up. So Blake Williams, with the good guy move of the year, made a special trip over and dropped a bunch of stuff off. So apologies for my tardiness on the show. That's what I was up to. So big shout out to Blake Williams, helping out the youth, making sure she's got her own stuff. So good guy Blake, he's a big W. So good stuff there. With what Miguel Rojas did at second base, his contributions on defense, with Kike Hernandez in left field, Justin Dean in center field, Scotty's thoughts today are centered really around the defense from yesterday's game. I'll flat out say right now, I don't have a banner. So, Blake's listening live as he's headed home here. I've got to build some banners out. He's going to get mad that I don't have them prepped in here, but we were running. But my stuff from yesterday was really centered around how amazing the defense was and the baseball IQ there. Will Smith behind the plate in that 9th inning was spectacular. Tyler Glasnow executing. Justin Dean in center field is someone that, there's been a little bit of buzz. What I will say is that there's been a lot of people who absolutely do not understand the rules of baseball, that they probably had money on the game and they're pissed, or you're Blue Jays fans and you're mad. But I've also seen people that understand the rules of ball, that when a ball gets stuck and you can clearly see it, it is not like the Yoenis Cespedes play where you could just walk up and pull the ball out. That ball is clearly lodged there under the Rogers Center, fence in the outfield. Clearly there. So the perfect play was him going out there, liner off the bat, gets 1 in a billion type play. How many times you run a simulation and that thing happens there? It just doesn't. So him going out there, and what I noticed out of my eye is seeing Kike Hernandez throw his arms up immediately, and Justin Dean echoing same thing and realizing that. So humongous credit to Kike for realizing that too. And shout out to Justin Dean for, look, I'm going to throw these hands up here and we're going to get this ball called dead and not going up in first thing and pulling that ball out. I know that I think somebody mentioned Dave Roberts said that the correct play was to play it and let replay review, change that call. My rebuttal to that is if Justin Dean goes up and plays that ball and the umpires say, hey, you ran up and grabbed that, I don't trust the replay review officials to overturn that call or to say, yes, it was lodged. I just don't do it. I don't trust that. That's a game 6 possible game tying scenario, game tying hit. I don't trust those umpires one bit to make that correct call. And that's not knocking the umpires. The replay review room has been good this postseason. I just don't trust them to make that correct call. So all credit in the world to Justin Dean for doing what he did, and credit to Kike Hernandez for seeing that immediately and maybe giving Justin Dean kind of a nudge, maybe just some validation that this is the correct thing to do. So that's the way that I perceived it, that my immediate thing was that was it. They played it the exact way you got to do it. Exactly this. Alex, call in the field. They called it dead, so leave it dead. Yeah. He goes up there and does that. Say he throws hands up, runs up there and picks it up, plays it quick. Yeah, I don't trust them to do it. But as far as everything else, home plate umpiring is being fooled by Alejandro Kirk. You saw the run value was +1 full in Toronto, so there were some swing calls that went the Toronto Blue Jays' way. But I loved what I saw from the defense. I loved what I saw, trying to get to a point where you can look around the infield and you feel comfortable with Mookie Betts at short, who's going, had a tough play there, but also, not fielding the ball. Max Muncy early on in the game, that was a tough one. But Miguel Rojas, I'll just start off with this here. Let me make my banner here for the suits. Cool. Miguel Rojas is providing a certain level of spark. And that's the way that I'm looking at it. I expect Miguel Rojas to be in the lineup tonight in a game 7. But what I know, and the comfortability factor that Mookie Betts has with him up the middle, Mookie Betts has been open and honest about how much Miguel Rojas has provided for him up the middle. And I will, as Tommy Edmonds, one of Tommy Edmonds' number 1 fans, I would say there's about 3-4 plays that Tommy Edman does not make yesterday. Just does not make it. And that's no knock on Tommy Edman. This has much to do with what Miguel Rojas can do as far as positioning, foresight, and glove work. Miguel Rojas is one of the most talented wizards with the glove I've ever seen. Dave says this: Scotty G has compete. Miguel Rojas has compete because he's been asked to come in and lay an unbelievable bunt down, and he did it. And he's been asked to come into a game 6 and play up the middle, and he has done nothing short of being spectacular up there. And, of course, Tommy Edman. Shout out to him for going to center field. His ankle is banged up, and it's affecting him everywhere. So he's in a rough spot there. That's something we'll talk about going forward. But 3-4 plays, Tommy Edman doesn't make that Miguel Rojas did. Hardliners, sitting back, not trying to do too much, bodying up, gloving it perfectly, short hop at the end. David Ortiz on the postgame there laid it out perfectly. He playing, or I think it might have been Derek Jeter, playing it like a first baseman. You're leaning back. It was great. It was beautiful. Kike Hernandez said on that low liner coming in, caught it, lost it in the lights, and when he came out of it, snares it. And he said he's running so fast in, he doesn't want to throw it too hard. So what he does, he tries to provide him with, a pretty decent medium hop, but he short hopped it. And Miguel Rojas steps back, and you see his body step back, and he catches it kind of in the, the palm of the glove, and it finds the webbing. Out, ball game. And that's just, baseball IQ. That's glove work. It was just all around beautiful. Mookie Betts calling 2 on that play as well. And that's why I brought up yesterday. Somebody said, the experience that the Dodgers had. And it's just they haven't been able to, deploy that. Because one, the bats have been such a topic. The offense just such a topic. The bullpen, whatever, however you want to dice it up. They haven't had so much fight. It just hasn't looked like that. They've been fighting. They've been scratching and clawing. Just the results aren't there. Again, shout out to everybody. We're fired up today. Thank you for listening to me rant. Game 7 vibes. But what I love is that they, in those moments where the game is tight, just like you saw with the wheel play in Philadelphia, when those moments call for a high level baseball IQ play, they can execute this to a thing of beauty. So the underrated move of this series so far has been Miguel Rojas at second base. What a move. What a move, huh? Shout out to the tier 1s, tier 2s. If you're listening for the first time, thank you. I hope everyone enjoyed their Halloween with the Dodgers win. I know I was stressing out trick-or-treating with the kiddo. Heard that call on the radio. Was watching that on the Gamecast as best I could. But hope everybody enjoyed that. But the underrated play of this series so far has been Miguel Rojas at second base. Someone who's going to go up there. It's going to be a tough AB sometimes just because the bat's not so fast. He's going to take what's given. I know he's going to go up and he's going to compete. But defensively, he's a wizard. And that's something that yesterday, last night, he provided an immense amount of value at second base. Several short hop plays. And then the one in the 9th to cap it off. Alex, we'll talk about Teoscar as well. I'll get there. Rosemary, what's up? Scotty Grinch, I didn't dress up last night. I'm sorry. I didn't. Should have. But I wanted to go just mustache, but I got yelled at and I can't do that. I had to leave a little scruff. Had to leave it. All right, Freedom. It says Dodgers still have a heartbeat. Mookie hit a cookie and Kike and Rojas saved our ass. Let's finish. The boys of blue. Pumped up big time, Scott. I'm pumped up. Like I said, they checked all the boxes I need checked to feel good. So I've got no choice. It would have been different if they didn't. If they would have just clunkered their way to a win, or they would have just went out not hitting. But they did what they needed to offensively for me to buy in. I'm bought in. Kevin Gossman was electric. Let's keep going through these super chats here, and I'll get back to Miguel Rojas here. Raul, great team effort. All hands on deck to shut down the Jays. The Jays already lost 2 consecutive games in the ALDS. Win it for Kirsch and Vesia. Yeah, absolutely. Clayton Kershaw, that moment in Dodger Stadium, post-game speaking about how he just said that he played a lot of baseball here. And I understand that. You look at it, how many games he's played in Dodger Stadium, postseason games, starts, moments. Beautiful stuff. Go win it for Kirsch. Fernando Valenzuela's birthday today. Is that correct? Is that right? I'm going to carry my pin with me. I told you I got my pin that I carried last World Series. I'm going to carry that with me today. It's a big deal. So big day for it. Ice Pig says running a solo show must be hard. You're doing a great job. Thank you. I love to come on here and just hop in. Solo shows are cool for me. Interact with chat. Do what I got to do there. Balance it out. Just provide, as much as I can the way that I see the game. Be critical. Praise guys that need to. Critique ones that you have to. And just understand that players fluctuate. And there's more going on than just the game. And process matters. Outcome is one thing, but process is so important. So thank you, Ice Pick. I appreciate that. Scott Holland, what's up, man? Thank you for the support here on this one. He says, it was a Dave masterclass last night. I wore my Scott 66 jersey to a Halloween party last night. Not for the surname. Got you, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate this super chat. Hope you had a great time. C note, Rojas will be missed when he retires. He is underrated and underappreciated. No doubt. He is. He is underrated and underappreciated. It's just the Dodgers are thankful. One conversation we can have in the offseason is how the bench affected them and how much I believe Dave Roberts would like someone off the bench. But this team is not built on platoons like that. They're just not. They're riding hot hands. They're going with someone. The only moves they made at the back end of the World Series, you know? It'd be a different story if they acquired someone or if Michael Conforto worked out. We'd be having different conversations here. Or if Tommy Edman was completely healthy and could have played center field from the jump. It's probably just because it's now they're asking him to do it for 2 games instead of 7 and perhaps an entire postseason. Once the red lights clicked on Andy Paz and you were saying, damn, I don't know if he's got it. You've got to make a swap. It was more about who can hold down center field. Because the valley for Andy Paz was way down. Miguel Rojas could have seen much more time. But he's got a chance today. He's got a chance today to continue that against Max Scherzer, starting that off, and then the carousel that they're going to bring in. Frida, one more, and then I'm going to go back to the thing. It says, put Hesson Kim in Teoscar's spot in Game 7. I'm sorry you're not getting it done with the bases loaded. Mookie goes deep tonight with men on base. Believe in blue. I don't think Hesson Kim has a spot right now. I'm a fan of his, but that's not going to detract me from the fact that it's just he hasn't been there, like out there in so long, and like pulse of the postseason and pulse on that stuff matters. And I don't lose sight of that. That's why it's like, I wouldn't like the Michael Conforto conversation. It's one that I wasn't prepared to have about bringing him in. He just hasn't appeared. It's been so long since we've seen him. He stopped playing down the stretch, and then you're just going to insert him there. It's not a thing. And then with Hesson Kim, not a thing, you know? I hope he has a role going forward long term, which I believe he does, because his high spots were terrific. You got to see bat the ball, could showcase his stuff on the bags, glove work at second base was great. Center field's a work in progress. I don't know if they'll keep that going, maybe abandon it, but I know they want him to be a versatile player. But that's something that I'm going to leave for now to Miguel Rojas, because today is his day to be at second base. They probably realize that the opportunities that Tommy Edman's going to be out there for opportunities, fly balls and stuff. The Blue Jays have done a lot of work down the lines. If you've noticed that, a lot of their stuff has been down the lines in the gaps. So it's not stuff that's like, I haven't seen many opportunities to catch balls in center field there. It's been more gap to gap and down the lines. So I think that's a calculated thing they're doing here, but it also is a plus effort with the gloves, I would say. I don't think the gap between Tommy Edman and Andy Paz is so far with the glove, but the gap between Tommy Edman and Miguel Rojas at second base is pretty significant for me. And it just helps everything else out. Game 7, I'm juiced. I'm fired up, man. I'm fired up. You're able to do this, get off the mat. Offense looks trash majority of the series, and you force it not because you lucked into it, because Miguel Rojas is at second base and Kike Hernandez is in left, and 2 vets make a game-saving play there. Beauty. Sometimes it sucks not going on a post game with you guys, because then I want to break it down, and then we got stuff to roll with, and I want to talk about night before. I know you do too. We can talk Game 7 when it's done. We can talk hypotheticals, right prior, but let's see. Mike says this, great call yesterday, Scott. You were spot on stating we need 3 early. Then yeah, I mean, I saw the 3 and I was like, no shit. I was like, they did it. That was more so just like tossing out a number that I'd feel comfortable with, that Yamamoto could pitch. It's just, look, guys, it's simple stuff. When you pitching ahead with a lead is always going to be something where as a starter, you feel comfortable with your bullpen out there. You can attack. You can attack the zone. You can fill it up. You don't have to dink and dunk around the zone. And then hitters pick up on the tendency that these pitchers are just going to dance around and force me to overextend. Yamamoto is a wizard of just, manipulation of the zone. His splitter, I've got his usage here from yesterday. Hold on. There we go. Game 6, Yamamoto's splitter, he was throwing it 34.4% of the time. He threw it 30.4% first pitch. When hitters were behind in the count, he threw it 42.3%, 34.7% on 2 strikes. They were 1 for 10 against it. 4 punch. Beautiful. 4 punch on that. Yeah. Loved it. So his usage yesterday was stellar, and it just allows you to attack. It allows you to go with what works and not having to, feed into what the hitters are going to do damage. We know his fastball needs that split to work off of it. He's able to find that bottom plane, Mike, in the strike zone there and just pound that spot. In the amount of times, you see Blue Jays hitters just taking fastballs bottom zone because they give up on it. They see it out of hand. They see tunnel, and they just give up. And that's where you get fastballs called strikes bottom zone, Mike. So that's where I wanted him to be and not have to be so perfect, because the only team that's gotten to Yoshinobu Yamamoto has been the Phillies, who, all things included, if Ohtani's not out there in the National League, then Kyle Schwarber is the MVP. The only thing he gave up damage to was Kyle Schwarber on a, pump fastball is what it is. So yeah, Mike, the 3 spot was something it was just a number. And that's one that, hey, they can go out there and put up some runs. And I'm thankful that Will Smith was able to get a bang, and then Mookie Betts in a spot again, following a walk. And I put a little breakdown on Twitter about it with Mookie Betts' swing, and there was a lot made about, his practice swing stuff there. But what I spoke about right prior to that was his hands just dropping into such a spot where if you coach ball or you've been around enough or you just watch Mookie Betts at his best, Mookie Betts' hands he's got a rhythmic setup. His hands get into a spot, he bounces on there, front leg goes up, and his hands get into a spot where he gets separation with his hands. He hasn't been getting that. He's been getting his hands to a spot where there's no pull separation, there's no pin pull. So he's got no, pull side stuff. There's no like pin pull where it's just that's where the release is coming from. On that swing, he got it. On that swing, it clicked, lined up well. So that's what I was looking out for, and that's why I posted that side view. MLB Network had that, so I just clipped it and put it up. But what I loved is that his hands started in a good spot, stayed in a good spot, and he went right through the hitting zone quick. It was beautiful. Fastball up and in, they tripled up, big mistake. There's your 3 runs, Mike. So the ability's in there, and that's off of Kevin Gausman, who his splitter looked like a damn knuckleball yesterday. And it was unhittable. We're sitting on the couch like, how do you hit that thing? Damn right, how do you hit that thing? But Mookie Betts got tripled up on a fastball, and Will Smith did damage too. Yeah, Smitty's been a force. He's had some timely hits here. Yeah, he threw 3, Juan. He threw 3 straight fastballs. He threw 3. That was crazy. But they had a good breakdown. D-Row had a good breakdown. Mookie Betts, bought himself another fastball after getting 2. It was late, pop one up, and they went back to the well. I was happy. I was happy for him. He's been going through it. He's been going through it, man. Got the My Dog t-shirt at the end. Again, shout out to everybody for listening during, after the fact. Rate, subscribe, all those things. If you're listening to us on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, however you consume your podcast, thank you. Getting you prepped for Game 7 here. Rehashing some stuff that I liked. Suits are listening to this saying, damn, Scott, this is going to go for a long time. Well, we'll see. We're having some fun. Dusty says this: Dodgers win it in 7 on Fernando Valenzuela's birthday. Fernando Mania forever. That's one that I'm bummed I wasn't alive to be a part of there. Fernando Mania. It was probably an incredible time. If you were fortunate enough to watch during that time, just euphoric type stuff when you see him go out there. So kind of an aura that can't be described unless you watch it. Guaranteed. Stuff that when I watch on video, I can only look at it. And I look at what he did and how incredible he was on the mound, but it's also like the feeling he gave fans, the mania. That's where it's at, that he gave fans. It took it over. So a beautiful part of fandom, baseball fandom, and a true gift to the game and a gift to Earth. So happy birthday to him. Miss him a ton. Yeah, Rosemary tells me don't worry about the suits. I never do. They've got an issue. They don't. They'll come knocking. If the suits ever get mad, it'll be like a scene from Casino where I'll sit in my car and hit the ignition boom, lights go out. That'll be, I don't know what I'll have to do to get that, but that'll be a Blake job. All right. Shannon, what's up? It's great to see you in here. I appreciate you. Says win for Vesia and Kershaw is more important to me than back-to-back. Can't hate that. 2020 for me was big for Kershaw. This one's an organizational win, a win about perseverance. And look, they've got a high-price lineup, everything, but it's how they can patchwork it. And like Kike Hernandez said post-game, every guy is willing to do what it takes. And they're willing to do whatever it takes. You know, Alex Vesia is a huge loss to this roster as far as vibe, culture, energy, ability. And they're one win away. And that would be damn good to win it for him. Hope the Vesia's family is doing all right today. Thinking about them. Absolutely. Impossible not to. Rembrandt says this here. The Dodgers have that dog in them, and the Blue Jays have that bird in them. I like that. Shelly, you in chat? Let me know if you're in chat. I have to know if you rebounded after yesterday's show. Sorry if I made you feel down, but like I said, I'm always going to give it to you straight on here and let you know where it's at. Just give you the bare bones stuff. Look, they put up 3, but after that, they didn't. I'm just telling you, they got to have the big inning. The big inning is always the key in postseason ball. You can chip away, you can have a bloop and a blast, but to have a big inning, 3 runs, that's stuff there. Okay, so she's saying here's the positive Dodger vibes. Grateful for this team and this great show. Go Dodgers. Yeah, no doubt. This is good stuff. So always appreciate the support here, Shelly. Dodger Blue, myself. Yeah, great to see you. David, yeah, Scott on a Saturday. I promise, chat. I'll go out of my way to do things for you guys. Always. If I can, if I'm able to, I always will. Doc says this, annoying that Springer was there for World Series Game 7 in 2017, along with Kershaw, Muncy, and Kike. They should use that as their sole motivation for this game. Can't let that guy win another Game 7. Yeah. About that. Blake's got great thoughts on Game 7. He's still not over that. I'm not saying I'm over Game 7, but when I saw 2020, 2024, this is Dodgers history now. But I like what you said. This is for those guys there, and I'm all about that. So to beat George Springer for, Kershaw, Muncy, and Kike in a Game 7 with him batting leadoff, I would say so, would be phenomenal. And, George Springer's on a heater. He's having a great year. He's having a great year offensively. It's one of the best of his career. That type of stuff just doesn't happen. Having those career resurgences just doesn't really happen too much. Let me see. All righty. The lineup is out. I got lineup here. Mr. Blake Williams sent that to me. I got Shohei Ohtani leading off in the DH spot. Will Smith in the 2-hole behind the plate. Freddie Freeman at first base in the 3 spot. Mookie Betts at short, batting cleanup. Teoscar Hernandez in right field at the 5. Max Muncy at third base, 6. Tommy Edmonds center field, 7. Kike Hernandez in left field, batting 8th. And Miguel Rojas, big Miguel Rojas, is able to provide another spark at second base in the 9 slot. So same lineup as yesterday for Game 7. I love that they did that. Onward. Keep doing what they did. You've got Max Scherzer today here. Let me pull up some stuff from. Give me one sec. I just want to look at my previous data here. So expectations against Max Scherzer, right? Why did I put that banner back up? Don't know why. Expectations against Max Scherzer. The Dodgers put up 3 and hit 2 off of him. This was in LA. So that was the 18-inning game. Yeah, once upon a time, he started that. He started that game for the Blue Jays there. He got 13 swing and miss over his outing there. He was out there for 4 1/3, and he got 13 whiffs. So Dodgers need to cut that down. He was relying on that fastball there. Like I said beforehand, towards righties, he's going to give that to him at about a 50% clip. Fastball, slider, curveball against righties. That's how it's going to go. Again, towards lefties, he dives a little bit deeper into that bag. So 39% four seam to lefties, 21% curveball, 25% cutter, and change. He tosses in there a little bit, but he's really going to bury it on the hands, work outer half with his four seam fastball to lefties there. He's not going to play into their game. So what I need, let's see if we could do this 2 days in a row, chat. Let's see if we could do this. What I need to see them do against against Max Scherzer is to get themselves some early traffic. Once again, force him to pitch from the stretch, get somebody on second base, and I need someone to be able to allow the offense to do some damage. I need Max Scherzer to be thinking about runners on base here, and that's what I need. See if you can get him dancing around the strike zone. See if you can get some early damage. Give me an extra base hit with 2 runners on early in the game. That's what I need. I talked about first time through the order yesterday always being tough because you kind of do some evaluating there. I think I'm okay doing that again, but it's innings 2 and 3 where damage must be done. Must be done. Take stock right away. Take stock right away. Immediately. Max Scherzer has been solid this postseason, but his last time out, he allowed 3. I believe that John Schneider will have the fastest hook in the world on Max Scherzer if he goes out and gives up, say, 2 in the first 2-3 innings. That's it. I think they will just, gone. They'll go straight to somebody they trust. They'll go straight to Louis Varland. They'll go straight to Hoffman, Sir Anthony Dominguez. They don't care. They have seemingly everybody available. If they're going to go Trey Savage, because I know he's ready to go and he's had immense success. So his bullpen day he's going to use against the Dodgers here. So force the Blue Jays to have to go off script, but you need to have 2. You need to have 2 early on against Max Scherzer to get those gears turning. It's game 7. They're going to be quick on the trigger there. And that's what I need. That's what I need there. Let's see. Shohei Ohtani, big game. Shohei Ohtani, big game. How about that? You guys could do this. We'll go a little bit off the board here. Just give me somebody early game. This is your first 3 innings. Who do you need to see? Off Max Scherzer. What do you need to see right away? Because Teoscar got a pump off Scherzer. Ohtani got a pump off Scherzer. And that was on the 6th pitch of the at-bat when Scherzer tried to sneak a fastball in or half off against him. I'm still going to circle Max Muncy as someone who is yet to really get it going. And that's someone I need to have it happen. The only big mistake that Shohei Ohtani made was the sweeper up to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. We haven't even talked pitching plans yet. We'll get to that. See some people asking about it. Yeah, Mike, look at us. Locked in again. I want to see Muncy get hot. I need to see it, but he's had some tough go. He's had a tough go. David, Shohei homers to break the postseason record for the Dodgers here. Freddie Freeman. I liked Freddie Freeman in this 18-inning game before that. I liked him out of game 2. He has some good swings. Cameron, I'll save that question. I'll put those in. Shohei homer first inning. Shit. Shohei comes out and homers first inning. You got to flood. You got to flood. If you do that in game 7, it feels insurmountable for the other team. Mr. Classic says this. Do you think the Jays are stupid enough to put Scherzer there expecting to get run over? No, but they need somebody to start the game. And it's his turn in the rotation. That's why I'm like, it's the immediate damage. He's out. They will pull him out. So I got you, Mr. Classic. They will ripcord him immediately. They are not going to let him pitch through anything. If it's a spot and he's just looking filthy and like his stuff's working and then he gives up, say, 1 and then has someone on, sure. But they're going to have a very quick hook. If it does not look pretty, I think somebody will be up immediately. Rosemary says all of a sudden Scherzer's arm isn't dead. Yeah, no doubt. I think I texted Matt. I think Matt Moreno last night, and I was like, I need Scherzer to pay for what he did to Walker Buehler. And then blaming the Dodgers for him, Scherzer's arm getting hurt. Give me a break. I liked Scherzer's time in LA, but it was the second he started blaming He started blaming the Dodgers for his stuff. That's when I knew he was just yapping. Flat out. That's when I knew he was just yapping. Didn't need to do all that. Let me see here. Freedom says, I saw Fernando Earl pitch many times, Scott, but I'm an old, beloved Dodger fan until I croak. Want to see Springer crying when we celebrate. Yeah, Freedom, you're a beast. You've seen it, man. So I appreciate that. There's a lot of things. There's a lot riding on today. There's a lot of narratives that need to be put to rest here with today's game, and they could do a lot of stuff here. Blue Jays' first title since early 90s, 92, 93. Springer, Fernando Day. A lot of stuff. Repeat champs, first time since the early 2000s or late 90s. Is that right? Late 90s with the Yanks. A lot of stuff, a lot of narratives going on today. Pitching plans I see for the Blue Jays. I mean, like I said, I think they're going to go Scherzer not until he can't, but until, if he gives up damage early, out. I would say Scherzer for 3. That's what they'll want, and then they'll start churning it. If he can give him length, like if he's cooking, if he's looking good, feeling good, getting whiffs, I think it's not that they'll ride him, but they'll go batter to batter at a certain point. You know what I mean? And then that's when Trey Savage, they'll really try to get some stuff out of there and just like kind of shock the Dodgers. And that's what I don't want to happen. That's what I don't want to happen. After that, everybody will be in play. They like Varland a ton. They'll use him in some capacity there. Sir Anthony, he's given up some damage. He got out of damage last night, but he's given up some stuff early in the season or early in the series there. Flu Hardy will come in. So we'll see that. And then Jeff Hoffman. Jeff Hoffman's been extended a lot this postseason. He's thrown 35 pitches a number of times. Let me see this real quick, what they did yesterday, just so I can know. Everybody will be available. It doesn't really matter who's pitched. Everybody's available today. Absolutely everybody. Gosman would even give him time. He would even give him time. Let me look to see here who they used. Varland again, Flu Hardy, Sir Anthony. Flu Hardy and Sir Anthony can go as long as they need Varland as well. Everybody's available. I can't tell you what the order is, but it's just going to be matchup based. Yes, Trey Savage, silencer. Trey Savage will factor into the game today. He will come in. He will come into the game today. That's the one where it's like, you go out there. He's tough, man. That's tough. That's one where I can't sit here and be like, how are you missing this stuff? Incredibly high arm slot, pitching straight down. Slider is not traditional. It just darts straight down. It's a tight slider. Doesn't loop. So it's like you're expecting it to flutter like the split and it just falls off. So he's going to be someone to look out for several years to come. So today the Dodgers have to hope that he's not able to overlay that stuff, because in his last start in Dodger Stadium, he was beautiful. You got to tip your cap. That was exceptional work. So he'll factor in today. You just have to hope you have a lead by then. You got to hope you have a lead by then. That's why I'm circling first few innings there. Go do something. And go from there. Again, shout out to the 1,500 in here on this Saturday afternoon. I appreciate you. Happy November. This is November baseball. Shannon says this Grand Slam tonight would be amazing. Yes, it would. They had an opportunity yesterday for some damage. It can be done. This lineup can do it. They can put those at-bats together. It would more so happen at the top of the order. It would happen at the top of the order. Freddie Freeman having an AB, Will Smith having an AB, not overextending there. And then somebody said this in chat a few seconds ago about it's going to be everything of what the Blue Jays do with the middle of the order. Let me see if I can find that here. I can't find it. Chat's on fire. You guys are flying. There's too much stuff for me to sift through real fast. I wish I could Command F and do that there. But it's going to be everything that the Dodgers do in the middle of their order. Absolutely everything. Because it's going to be Teoscar Hernandez, always with a big spot. Max Muncy is the one. Mike, and your Michael Carrillo in chat, same thing. We're on that Max Muncy train where the game's going to find him, hopefully, because he's He can do it, man. He can do it. He can do it. So if there's someone with a grand slam opportunity and just go out there and punish, hope it's Max. Hope it's Max today. Hope it's Max. Yeah, you guys are on Teoscar right now on chat. We can talk about Teoscar. Look, I think that the amount of times yesterday that I said Teoscar is someone in the lineup that is as lost as anybody. I know the overall numbers don't show it, but he is as quick of an at-bat as I've seen. It has not been great. Has not been great for Teoscar Hernandez so far. This has been a very tough postseason, or excuse me, World Series for him. I've got to pull up World Series stats here. Wendy asked, are we locked in for tonight? Damn right, we're locked in. 1 to 10. I think people are feeling pretty good. You feel great if you got 3 and 4, right, chat? You want me to just stay there? 3 and 4? 3 in the first 4 innings. And then they can get it churning. Yeah, Teoscar. Let me see. He's doing all right. It's a lot of punch. 706 OPS. Muncie's the one. 514. Muncie's the one. I need to see more. You got one game to figure it out. One game to make it happen. You got one game to turn that script. It just can't have whiff. Can't have so much whiff. I know he hunts. The concerning part for me is that he's getting beat with fastballs in her half. And that's like a number of times where you can see him get tied up and you're like, damn, like sitting off speed and trying to swat it away till you get something you like. And then the fastballs that they're executing against him are fastballs in her hand where he cannot extend that barrel, where you see him get tied up and then it's an ugly swing. That happened 2 times last night that I was like, this is uncharacteristic for him. Because he's able to go out there, quick hands, extend a barrel, even in her half. It's just not happening. Yeah, GI, I think he did a lot there. He did a lot in that 18-inning game. But you've got to be able to extend a barrel with Teoscar. It's just swing decision feels like out of hand, and he's just getting beat with tunneling. He's getting beat with tunneling right now. Max Muncie's been a tough one as well. Not great AB quality. It's been quick. All right. Yeah, I like Teoscar's cold runner. I like Teoscar's aggression too. I like it too. It's just that leads to quick ABs. Too many times it's been splitter down, off speed down, out in dead doinks in front of the plate that he's getting whiff on. He has some good takes in there. No chance. Dusty Otten, there's no chance I'm putting Pages in over Teoscar. It's not a chance. Later game, defensively, not a chance. I'm out on Pages right now. It's going to take me some time to buy back in on what Pages has left for me. Uncharacteristic stuff. I mean, I know he's a free swinger, but one of the worst postseason statistically for this, like this many at-bats ever. That turned me off a lot with what Pages has. Might be unfair, but it's been really bad. He got broken down. He got taken to the shed. That's not good. Ronan wants to know, Rohan, sorry, man. Does Yamamoto play a factor into this game at all? He'll be ready. He'll be ready to go. He'll pitch in any capacity. Blake Snell will factor in tonight, I would say. They're going with the big guns today. Dave Roberts is not messing around. Shohei Ohtani is going to come in and start this game and go from there. We'll talk pitching plan, though, in a second. Vladdy's looking super confident tonight. He's been great. Vladimir Guerrero is a terrific talent. He's as good as it gets. He has ascended to superstar quality for me. There's not many hitters around the league that do that make you go, you can't not make a mistake. Postseason Vladdy is a different cat. What a postseason for him. That's why it's like the Mariners didn't, like, they have Big Dumper and all that stuff and Suarez, guys who could do damage, but they didn't have anybody like Vlad. Nobody's as locked in as Vlad. That's Randy Arozarena territory. He can be one of the all-time great postseasons ever. I think he's one hit away, 1 or 2 hits away from breaking the all-time record, which was from Arozarena with hits in a postseason. So it's like, what do you want to do with that? You're like, guys, where do you want to approach this? You just pitch better, execute. Don't let him extend a barrel. Fastballs up and in, make him go down away. All right, let me get back to these super chats here. Freedom says, I want to see Kirsch get the last out in the 9th, only if it calls for it. I talked to Blake earlier today about that, and it's like they got to be up 7. 5 is like bare minimum. No one swing spot. If it's the 9th and they're up 5-1 or they're up by 5 at any point, sure, let it ride. But no territory where they can tie it on one swing. No way. He'll be fine anyway. That would be a picturesque moment, but only if the game, can allow for it. Ozzy, can we get a game where the Dodgers are up 9-2? Yeah, that's why I said, if you have like a 2017 type Game 7 where it's just air out of the stadium, take it out early. Do your damage early. But that's where you walk the line of being over aggressive and letting the game come to you. That's where you walk that line where it's like you hit the mistakes that Scherzer, if he'll make them. You had 2 pumps against him. You did damage the last time you saw him. Teoscar, Ohtani. You got to be ready for it again. Got to be ready for it again. Let's see. One sec here. Freedom says, I miss Belly Bomb, Seager, and Wild Horse Puig. Different time. 2018 vibes. 2018 vibes all the way through. Let's see. What does it say? Wedge at the ball. Need to score early. Peep my pick. Yeah. Yeah, got to score early. Thanks, Kai. Silence says, doesn't make sense why Dave pitched Show in Game 4. Should have been Game 3 and more ready for a Game 7. I mean, he's not going to go deep today. If he's absolutely shoving, they'll just let it ride. But that's how it goes. They lined this up. They're good. They're good there. And Silence says this, scoot up in the batter's box and catch that splitter before it drops. It's not that easy. It's still going to be the same tunnel. It's about tunneling. It's not catching before it drops. It's just, you can't do that because you get blown up by the fastball. You see it for less time. You want to see it as long as you can. That's why hitters scooch back in the box so you can read it as long as you can. It's not going to matter. That wouldn't matter at all. I know Smoltz said that, but that's not what you want to do. That was a devilish type splitter last night. Splitters are not as easy to just to scooch up. I understand the thought process there, but it just wouldn't matter today. That wouldn't matter against splitters. Blanco, nobody talk about 2018, big dog. Made a comment about old players. It's all good, buddy. Let's see. Yeah, chat, you're fired up. First thing will tell a lot. I like this, James. The first inning will tell a lot. Take stock of Max Scherzer. Go out there. Be ready for it. So somebody you've seen a ton already. You got a ton of at-bats. Against Max Scherzer. In their career, they've got a lot of time against Max Scherzer. We talked last time about Freddie Freeman's got, I think 60 at-bats, something like that against him. Max Muncy, a ton of them as well. Got a pump mixed in there. Mookie Betts has time. Edman. Ohtani's got a homer off him. So it's like more than one. So that's what I'm expecting. Rojas as well. These guys have got, like, it's from Rojas's time, in Miami. But there is history with him. He's a different pitcher now. Relies heavily on his fastball location there, manipulating the barrel. He's a pitcher. He's going to go out there, use his best stuff. Whoops. Sorry about that. There we go. Cool. But I feel that like the Dodgers offense has to do it early on. You got to do it early on. Force them on their heels. Once they get into that stuff there, you can't be confident about the Dodgers against Trey Savage simply because of what you've seen him do. Or game one, they did all right, and then they didn't get that one extra swing. And then in Dodger Stadium, Trey Savage had an all-time performance, and they didn't see it. So 2 days in a row, maybe seeing a split might be a thing. But even then, it's like they're not all the same. Different arm slot, different tunnel. Mike Nelson wants to know, Scott, can I get your confidence level going into tonight? This is a game 7. This is a game 7. Anything can happen. I've lived and died by that forever. 04 Sox made me fall in love with the game. Millar saying games, win. Don't let us win today. Don't let the Dodgers win game 6. Game 7, anything can happen. 50-50 coin flip here. 50-50 coin flip. That's how it works. I don't have a 1 through 10. It's 50-50 ball. I feel great that they're in this opportunity, that they're in this spot. That's where it's at. There is no tomorrow for it. It's today. So it's a 50-50 ball. Jay's lineup is out. Let me peep it. Let me look. Let's look. It's probably going to be what I already expect. George Springer, Lucas, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Bo Bichette, Barger, Kirk, Varsho, Clement, Jimenez. Same stuff. Nothing changed. I don't expect anything different. Gary, hell yeah, I need a Pacifico. We'll do that later on. Yeah. Feel pretty good, though. Love the opportunity to be in a game 7. Shohei Ohtani this time around against the Blue Jays. Avoid the hangers, please. Avoid the hangers. That's what I need him to do. Let me pull this up here. Let me see. There we go. Let me see Shohei's usage here. Just being very careful around Vladdy with runners on. You can't dink and dunk. You can't give away free damage. You can't give runners on base there. You've got to be stingy. Yamamoto did an incredible job getting double plays when he needed to, getting bad contact here. So Mike, when it comes to today, it's just Shohei Ohtani setting the tone early on. It's just, I know he's on short rest today. They're going to go with him just so they can use him in a game 7. It's just that when you step on that mound, Shohei's got to be ready to go. If there's a different fatigue factor, if his legs are a little sluggish there, hopefully the off day helped him out. But he's got to be, airtight with that sweeper. Airtight with that sweeper, because against righties right now, he is, 3-pitch guy. 3-pitch guy. I'd like to see maybe a slider if he can put that outer half there. But the sweeper can be so volatile when it's left in the zone. So, 4-seam sweep curve against righties, against lefties. He's about 50% 4-seam fastball, curveball, and a little bit of cut. He's kind of not abandoned his split. It's just not something he's going to a lot right now. Lefties, you won't see it. It's going to be versus lefties, 4-seam curveball and some cut, try to break a barrel. So you've got to be on your stuff. You've got to be in the zone, Shohei. If they're not chasing, you've got to get back to it. Got to get back to it. So, Mike, good spot. Happy they're in a game 7. Happy they're in a game 7. All right, we can talk pitchers. Juan wants to know ideal pitchers sequence or today. I would say Shohei for as long as he's effective. As long as he's effective, and then you can talk about getting him out. And then I would go, if Glasnow can go following that, do it. I would believe Blake Snell factors into today. I think he factors into today. If they don't have to, that's fine. He's had a tough series. I know what he meant by luck-wise. I know what he meant by that. Aside from first 2 pumps, wasn't a lot of crazy batted ball data, but their BC brings us up too. Roki struggled. They pushed him and he didn't look great. And after that, that up down, I would have had somebody ready to go right away. Thankful that Tyler Glasnow was able to get out of that. But I feel good. I feel good, following Shohei Ohtani. Tyler Glasnow will factor in. If Yamamoto can throw something, please do. And then you kind of go through it. You kind of mix and match the best you can. This is all hands on deck day. Just stay away from Blake Trinan, and I'm fine everything else. Stay away from Blake Trinan and Anthony Bonda. Two guys have not been effective. So stay away from the both of them, and I'm okay. That make it pretty easy? Sequence, like it's just pitchers. I don't have sequence for you because that's all matchup dependent and stuff. But I'm big on just stay away from the guys who have not been effective. Bonda, Trinan, don't care about that later game stuff from Trinan. Game was over at that point. Didn't move me. But stay away from the ones who haven't been good. Will Klein's one where I think he might be gassed for the series. And that's tough because he was extremely effective. But it was later in the game where a lot of guys were going for, big swings. But pitching the most there, you don't want to be disingenuous and put him in that spot, So that's where, Juan, I don't think I'll see Will Klein, respectfully, just to, speaking directly to how much he threw in that game and putting him back out there, with as much usage as he had in game 3. It's just a lot. It's just a lot on him. So just stay away from the guys who weren't effective there. The 18-inning game, you saw everybody. Tyler Glasnow will factor in. If Robo can go again, I've liked Robo a lot in this series here. Dreyer, Emmett Sheehan will factor into today. Yeah, feel good there. I feel good there. All right, let me see this here. Again, best way to get a hold of me on here. You want to talk about something, hit me with some super chats. Let me know there. I'll direct my stuff straight to you. But that's the pitching plan. That's how I see it. It's not going to be anything spectacular. It's just going to be everybody. It's just going to be everybody who's available, ready to go. Sheehan, I believe, will factor in. But following Ohtani, I just matchup-based stuff. Tyler Glasnow's been great. He's been great. So I would, if he's ready to go, have him ready to go. Quick turnaround for him, though. Bianca wants to know, Scott, expectations for Shohei on short rest. What should his approach be specifically against Vlad? Avoid hanging sweepers. For the love of God, Shohei, avoid the hanging sweeper. Do not throw that again. I was trying to pull up the game log from it so I could see kind of how he sequenced him his first AB because that was his second at-bat that he had that. Let me see here. Give me 1 sec. I do want to see that here. Let me see. That was game. There we go. That was on Wednesday. So let me just see how he sequenced them here. Give me 1 sec. BC says, I don't want to see Snell, Sheehan, Bonda, or Trinan unless they run out of other arms. I'm fine with Sheehan. But he's given us some hard contact, but he has had an appearance where he just looked great. But I think that was in that 18-inning game, right? If I'm mistaken. I think Snell can go ahead and do it. It's been a tough series for him. I feel like they've kind of got him figured out a little bit. He just hasn't been able to establish the fastball. They've been cranking the fastball off him. Let me see here. Yeah, sweeper and a 2-1 count to him. You just can't get behind a Vlad. So Bianca, how I would approach Vlad is like first time through, you got to get ahead. You got to work fastball. Hopefully you're just able to, get a foul ball, miss a barrel, watches it. If you want to paint something outer half, his spray pattern was just around the zone. It's just the fact that the fourth pitch of the AB left the sweeper, let her high. And Vlad did something he hadn't done all year, which was take an off-speed pitch, for a homer. That was up in the zone. That was elevated that high. I would stick the same thing like he did his first AB here. He went 4-seam away. Vlad was aggressive, and he could do whatever. The reason why I've highlighted Vlad as such an exceptional player and ascended to that superstar spot is that he could take pitchers' pitches and put good enough swings to turn them into extra bases. And that's what superstars do. So Bianca, like Ohtani's first AB against Vlad in Dodger Stadium was 4-seam away. He gets a call strike on a sweeper out, and then he goes sweeper even farther out. And Vlad tries to do what he did again, which is just get a barrel, just do what you can, throw the hands, one-handed, whatever, spoil the pitch. You got to follow that overlay, because you got to think that if you're thinking things are going well for Ohtani, he's going, one time through, maybe 1.5 times through. If he can face the top of the order again, that's best case. That's best case. And you go from there. If he can give you 4, that's beautiful. He give you 4, that's beautiful, and just air it out, knowing you've got everybody behind him. That's the way you do it. So Bianca, that's my expectations for him. But you've got to have a close eye. Cameron says, how much does Glasnow's pitching last night affect today? I don't think much. I believe in what he's doing. His ability this year, his moxie has been a beautiful thing to see. He has been terrific with that. I haven't seen that in his time, with LA, and how candid he has been with how much the adrenaline out of the bullpen has helped him. Has been great. I would give him a good chance. I would say it's just, if the process looks good, if he warms up good, you let him go until he's not effective. All these guys. But always too early than too late. So Cameron, that's how it's going to be. Caveat. Let me put that out there. No need to let anybody die on a mound today. No need to let anybody pitch to one too many. If they're the best option for the spot, then you leave them in there. That's how it goes. Yep, Sean, Robo. He's been great. Pitching downhill. Fastball's looking good, getting punch. It's good stuff. Silencer says, we win and we are a dynasty. If we lose, we come back and win next year. Is it still a dynasty? What is that? 3-5? That'll still be 3-5? 3-6. I'll say so. This is usually like 3-10. People look at that. Yeah. If Bozo's calling, like in Houston, or calling Astros a dynasty, then yeah, that's for sure a dynasty. But Silencer, I'm talking about today. To win today, make it easy. You can always talk about, you'll be back there next year, but nothing's guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed. All right, let's do questions. Let's do that. I got you, Cameron. I already answered your question, brother. All caps question. Hit me with those. Shout out to the 1700 in here. Let's see what we got. Toss me something good. Let's see. Sean Green. Man, W if you're the real Sean Green. That'd be the greatest thing ever. I love you, man. Let's act like it's the real Sean Green for a second. Hey, Sean, I remember watching that game in Milwaukee, brother, when I was a kid, and just the absolute laser show you put on there. So you're probably not the real Sean Green, that former Dodger, former Blue Jay, but I'm gonna act like you are. I appreciate the hell out of you. Thank you for giving me those memories. It says, can we afford to have pitchers see the top of the order once at max, or would we burn through pitchers too quickly? Yes. Yeah, you would. I mean, but you're saying, like, if that happens, all things that if you're saying just one time through, but things are going well, then I mean, no, then you can kind of leave him out there. Like if Ohtani goes straight through and allows no damage one time through, you're talking, he sees Springer perhaps twice if a guy reaches, Vladdy twice. But if you don't, like, if that's saying like nobody reaches base, Sean, and I don't see that. Like, I don't see that happening. You'd burn through people way too fast. If you get like guys on a DP ball and that's how you just escape trouble, but somebody's going to have to face, the top of the order twice. And that's why I highlighted the second AB against Vlad for Shohei as the one where you have a thing that works out. If you get 2 outs on him and you want to pitch around him, do it. I don't care. You don't let Vlad beat him today. You let everybody else in that lineup, besides like Springer or Vlad. Vlad's compromised, Springer's compromised right now because of the oblique and probably the knees bothering him, hand, everything. He's banged up. Bo Bichette's had some free swinger stuff there. And that's where like it comes into effect that pitching around Vlad, Bo Bichette's going to be free swinging. That's where they have a really good sandwich job there. And then Barger behind him. So it's a tough little stretch they have, but you let everybody else beat you besides Vlad today. Vlad and Springer. Kirk as well. Kirk can hit the mistake, but let everybody else beat you. And Dave Roberts learned his lesson. Never walk Andres Jimenez. Rest of time. Never. Hitters with no pop. Luis Arias types. Not afraid of those guys. Clement's a beast, though. He's been nice. But Luis Arias, stinky, man. Stinks. He stinks. All right. Let's see. Shannon wants to know, has there been a lot of comments regarding the age of some of our players and the possibility of it affecting performance? What is your take on that? It's a thing. That 18 inning marathon and having guys in their mid-30s, like early mid-30s, it matters. It definitely matters. Pitching hasn't faltered, though. It's the offense. The offense came into it sluggish, and then I'm sure it just had an effect. Will Smith catching all 18, starting next day. It's a thing. They got an older roster. There's no other way about it. You guys know, if you're in your 30s, if you're in your early 30s like me, if you're in your mid-late 30s, you know how it goes. You stay up past 10 o'clock sometimes, and you're cooked next day. You all that adrenaline during the game, and then having the jubilation when you win the ball game, and then having a quick turnaround again, get to the stadium, do the interviews, post-game, get to the stadium, do more interviews, do your pregame work. Yeah, it will have some effect. It will have some effect there. It will have some effect. Yeah, BC says this too. Offense sucked before the 18 inning for a long time. Agreed. D-Ho, yeah, I don't see him going 6. I'm saying he airs it out and gives him 3. 4 best, 4 for me would be turn it over. Yeah, Foxy, you can bounce back quicker in your 20s. Yeah, no doubt. 20s were a movie. That's when you'd walk into the gym and just, deadlift 315, no warm-up. I'm like, okay, now I do that, my back will blow out. I can't do that. No shot. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm good. People talking trades. Crazy. Would I give Josue de Paula and Sheehan for Skubal? Probably. Yes. Probably. It's hard to say no to that, but But I will say, though, I need one of the young outfielders to separate themselves. Quintero looks a little bit out. He looks like the best of the bunch. DePaula and Zaire Hope, 2 guys I need for them to work out. I got baited on a trade question. That's elite. W's to that guy. Let's see. All right. C-Cube says, I heard people going into the series, Snell was marginally our ace over Yamamoto. Is it official that Yama is the Dodgers' #1 ace? Correct. Yeah. Snell, I called a game 1 guy because he can come back around. It's just he gave you no other indication. The Blue Jays are just the #1 team against lefties, and they don't chase. And Snell, his stuff is built on chase and getting a pitcher's pitch. Waiting for a pitcher's pitch, and they're locked in against lefties right now. They must be seeing it for a long time, not chasing, not getting fastballs in the zone for Blake Snell, not getting chase inner half, not been able to establish inner half top zone with the 4-seam. And when you've got to just go change, I know he did that at a certain point in the start. He just went 14 straight changeups, something like that. For a starter, that's just not sustainable. So I would say Snell, from a talent standpoint, he's got some of the best stuff. Glasnow and him have some of the best stuff. But as far as a pitcher, who's an ace, yeah, Yamamoto's the guy. He's incredible. He's separated himself. He's a top 3 arm. He's top 3, top 4 arm in the league. Not even close. He's right there. He's short dude, but it's got some of the biggest balls I've ever seen. They win tonight. Yamamoto's the MVP. That's his thing. That's his award. Rosemary, Sean Green was your first baseball crush when you were a kid. I love it. Handsome dude. All in. I was a big Beltray guy. That's my guy growing up. I got an autograph photo. Where is it? Right there. W Mom. She bought that for me. She won in a silent auction thing. Let's see. Rosemary says, anyone sad we don't have the Shohei graphic this season? 2 batters till? Yeah. I can go without that. Let's see. Alex says, who ends up with the final out ball? Okay, you want like realistic? Realistic. I hope it's a man. BC, help me out here. Help me out on this one. Give me a real one. Don't give me the Clayton Kershaw one. Somebody give me this here. My mind's in a bunch of spots right now. Yoshinobu. Who ends up with that? Oh, yes. I thought it was pitchers wise. Who ends up with it for out wise? I hope it's Will Smith on a punch. I hope it's Will Smith on a punch. I like this one from Blake. Will Klein. Will Klein comes out in the 9th, up by 3, and just shoves it. Yeah. Give it to me. Will Klein cements one of the greatest, random reliever performances ever. What a beast. Shout out to Will Klein. But like I said, if he's gassed and that's it, respect it. He's going down in the books. Yep. The GOAT Will Klein. 100%. All right. Here we go. Home. Chase Deluxe, we answered this earlier. Size of the lead you need to consider letting Kershaw close it out. It is 5. 5. Five-run lead. Cannot be one swing territory. Agent. There is no set stuff. It's just going to be going through who's available. He's asking who's the closer and who's our backup closer. There's no set anything. It's just going to be who's available, who's ready to go at that spot. I always like when D-Train says this, Kershaw with the 12-6 whooper duper. It always makes me laugh when he says that. Yeah. All right. All right, guys. Chat, we feeling good? All right, hit me with final predictions. Go ahead. Give me your predictions for tonight. No more questions. No more questions. Somebody said, how long does Glass go? We'll see. I don't know. Depends how long, like I said, till they're not effective. That's when you just have somebody ready to go. Give me predictions for today. People saying they're feeling terrific. Like I said, I am loving the fact that they're in this opportunity, so it's hard for me to be anything but, ready to enjoy it. If they break the heart, is what it is. The bats, we've already seen it. They're the ones who are, have it circled around them. Today, everybody from the starters to the relievers are available. Even Yamamoto, who just twirled a gem. Everybody's available. It's going to come down to the bats. Can they get off of it? Someone says Jays 9-3. Cold. Dodgers winning 5-2, 2-1, just scraping it. That'll be unbelievable. Baseball today, my man Scott, how we feel? Like I said, feel all right. Feeling all right. Great to be in this opportunity here. You push to the brink with one of the worst offensive performances we've seen. And yet they have one day for it to not matter a damn. Go out there and just, play free, go hit. Go do your thing, boys. Go do your thing. Rosemary says 7-3. Wendy 5-3. Shanna 6-3. Joel, I wish. That'd be nuts. Dodgers 3-2. Blue Jays will scratch and claw. We've seen them do it. You force them to have to go out there and do it. I know, GI. It would be. I would love to see a nice and terribly boring game tonight. Oh no. Oh no. But they got a scratch. This is game 7. Anything's possible. Anything can happen. That's how it goes. This is it today. Enjoy your next few hours. Thanks for hanging out with me for an hour and 15, 17, 1800 in here. Thank you a ton for tuning in to DodgerHeads Unplugged. I promised you all, if they forced the game 7, we would be here today. Alex, yeah, we ride, man. We ride. This is it. This is it. So there is no tomorrow with this team. Today will be the last game you see with this unit. So enjoy it. Start early. Have the Dodgers lineup start early. Look out for those things. Everybody's available. This is a full team game today. Have fun. As always, everybody, my name is Scott Geirman. Thank you for tuning in to DodgerHeads Unplugged. Thank you for joining me prior to the postseason here in the ramp up toward the postseason. This is going to be a stellar game 7. The vibes, people feeling good, feeling nervous. That's how you should be. Be fortunate to be in this spot. Don't trade this with any other team. Got a chance to go win another title, 2nd in a row. All right. So everybody, please enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you on Monday, rain or shine, win or lose. We'll be back there, break it all down, and I'll see you going forward. Good luck. Don't panic too much. Enjoy baseball. Look for Shohei on the mound, offense to come in, hopefully pick it up. Let's ride. Till I can't say it anymore, my name is Scott Geirman. We'll talk to you later. As always, go Dodgers.